Welcome to the Legends of Destiny. In this YouTube series, we will see what could be the course of events if few of the greatest peacekeepers, dictators, or military leaders would have led the NATO forces in US-Afghan war. In the first episode, we will see the possible outcomes of US-Afghan war if Adolf Hitler would have led NATO forces. Hitler rose to power in 1930 with an undemocratic approach. He implemented aggressive policies, aiming expansion and to create a greater German empire. He defied diplomatic norms and agreements, resulting in the largest conflict of human history, with millions of lives lost and countries devastated. The war resulted in unprecedented loss of 70 to 80 million lives, a complete disaster, unparalleled in the human history. 6 long years of full-scale war, which started on September 1939 after the death of Hitler in 1945. The war ended the same year. Coming back to the US-Afghan war, with Hitler, the conflict would have taken an entirely different course. Given Hitler's extremist ideology, his leadership would have likely resulted in ruthless and oppressive measures against both the Taliban and Afghan population. The consequences would have been devastating, leading to widespread suffering and a long-term instability in the region. Let us find answers to the 4 very basic questions of war. What are the objectives? Unlike US and its allies, Hitler would have wanted to force Afghanistan to follow his fascist beliefs, treat people harshly, and use violent methods to gain control. His belief in racial dominance and targeting specific groups like Jews would have influenced his decision. By intelligence gathering and multinational coordination, Hitler would exploit the strengths of allied nations to conduct joint operations and gain a strategic advantage. Economic warfare, psychological operations, and leveraging logistic capabilities would further contribute to his tactics. However, it is important to note that this scenario is highly unlikely, and the principal values of NATO member countries differ significantly from those of Nazi Germany. What could be the outcomes of this war? The outcomes of the war are highly dependent on various factors and can be influenced by various variables. Under Hitler's leadership, a humanitarian crisis would likely emerge, characterized by widespread human rights violations and atrocities against civilian populations, aggressive tactics, and the imposition of a fascist ideology may destabilize the region, leading to increased tensions and resistance. The NATO-led forces could face diplomatic isolation, sanctions, and casualties due to Hitler's disregard for human rights and targeted violence. In World War II, approximately 70 to 80 million people lost their lives, and shockingly, every 1 out of 16 people died in this catastrophic war. However, in US-Afghan war, a total of 0.284 million deaths caused, which is approximately 1 person out of 226 people. If it would have been Hitler leading NATO, the human losses could have been reached to shockingly